Hello, my name's Alma Perez, and I will be presenting my findings on our research topic, defining the sense of purpose. The project purpose was to gain a deeper understanding of how individuals perceive and define their sense of purpose in life, as well as to explore the personal, social, and contextual factors that shape its development and evolution. So, the central research question that was guiding this study was, how do adults perceive, define, and experience their sense of purpose in life, and what personal contextual factors shape its development and evolution? So, the four main research questions that I developed were: one, which personal experiences, values, and beliefs influence a person's sense of purpose? Two, how do relationships and community connections shape and support an individual's sense of purpose? Three is the in the face of challenges and changes, how do adults adjust to or strengthen their sense of purpose? And four, how do reflections on the past, present, and future guide the ongoing development of a person's sense of purpose? So my reflexibility statement. My personal background and experiences are closely tied to the topic, since I had to discover my own sense of purpose. Overcoming significant challenges such as leaving high school during my junior year due to family and immigration processes really helped me discover and strengthen my own sense of purpose. So the reason why that's important is because I feel like through those experiences, I've learned that everyone has their own sense of purpose, and everyone has a story or narrative that actually maybe shapes or has shaped their own sense of purpose. Through this study, I felt like it was important to keep my experiences and any biased opinions aside, as this was mainly focused on participants' understanding and meaning and definition of sense of purpose, not mine. As I was analyzing data and doing all of that, I was ensuring that I was not bringing in my personal bias or personal, experiences into the findings of the topic. So the participants, we had 13 participants with unique experiences and perspectives on their sense of purpose. They range from early 20s to 30s. The occupations of the participants were very diverse. Some were in education, some were in customer service, some were software engineers, others were pest control workers or technicians, student teachers, warehouse workers, customer service. So, in other words, there was a varied, occupation and professional and educational background of participants, which really gives a diversity on the sense of purpose of everyone who participated in the study. So the data sources. For this research study, we utilized 15 open-ended questions that were developed by our professor. She developed those 15 questions in which key areas to explore were asked. So, for example, some questions on the background information, exploring personal sense of purpose, challenges and obstacles, external influences, personal growth and reflection, future aspirations were the key areas that had specific questions to be answered, that will help us understand and um, better answer the questions in this research study. Again, from the participants, or from everyone in the class, we got a total of 12 interviews. And sorry, I made a mistake above. I said 13 participants, but it was 12 participants. The length of the interviews were 50 to 60 minutes long. I concluded that there was 179 pages of verbatim transcripts that were captured. Um, and then procedure. So the study design was, it was designed by our professor, and I'm sure she received institutional review board approvals from the IRB in order for us to start, the data collection. Um, Participants were recruited. One-on-one interviews were scheduled. For me, it was at the participants' home office, as for their convenience. Consent was asked from the participant in verbal and written form. So as you could see, here's the consent form that was shared to us by our professor, in which we had them sign, in which they were agreeing to take part in the research study. After that, the semi-structured interviews took place. The 15 questions were asked. Later, the interviews were transcribed, and finally they were analyzed. So for that data analysis, I followed three major steps. So the first one was that I carefully transcribed. I familiarized myself with the data. This meant that I read multiple times the transcripts. After that, I generated codes from the interviews. After that, the codes were carefully examined and analyzed, and that helped me develop specific themes. So, for example, some of the specific themes that I developed based from the codes were life events, core values, amongst others that I will later share. After that, my step four was to review and refine my themes. And finally, I interpreted the themes in which I was reflecting on I was using them to reflect on, how they would help answer the research questions. And through the process, I ensured that I was reflective of, and making sure that I was not being biased towards any of the data findings. Continuing the data analysis, so for the first research question, the themes that I developed were life events and core values and beliefs. This meant that specific life events in the participants' life helped them find their own sense of purpose, as well as values and beliefs. So it suggested that their experiences and motivations were basically, what guided their sense of purpose. Um, and I'll share a quote from a participant. Um, After returning to the United States, 6 months made me realize the importance of educations for myself and my sorry, it cut off. But yes, I hear some quotes from direct quotes from the participants. After the second research question, how do relationships and community connections shape and support an individual's purpose? So again, the themes that I came up with were influence and role models and community support. So basically, from the responses or the interview transcripts, I was able to see that relationships and social networks provided emotional and moral support for the participants, which again helped them continue to develop their sense of purpose in life. And it played a huge part to a lot of the participants. Participants stated, my parents always supported my drive for college, even though they didn't go themselves. Jacob. Third research question, in the face of challenges or changes, how do adults adjust or strengthen their sense of purpose? So the findings show that resilience is not just about enduring hardship, but also finding opportunities for growth and meaning during difficult times. So based on my findings and the transcripts, the main themes that I developed from this were resilience through adversity, in which a lot of participants were sharing different things that were happening in their lives. For example, switching careers or different challenges or different things that helped them shape their sense of purpose. And finally, flexibility and purpose, which was again changing careers, discovering fulfillment in unexpected areas or different things that were happening that were shaping their sense of purpose. And finally, for the fourth research question, how do reflections on past, present, and future guide the ongoing development of a person's sense of purpose? So, based on the participants' responses, they frequently reflected on their past, present, and future as a way to continually refine and align their sense of purpose. These reflections help participants link past experiences to the current motivations and future goals. So, in other words, a lot of what they were experiencing in the past was also influencing them in the future now with their sense of purpose. So the themes that I developed from that was learning from past experiences and aspirations for the future. And credibility, so I was very reflexibility was important, as that ensured that I was unbiased. um as I was analyzing the data, I was frequently reflecting on my bias. And finally, I was also using triangulation for validation, which meant that I was connecting patterns, and I was comparing the themes based on the participants responses to ensure that my I was interpreting um their responses correctly based on the research questions. And finally, the results, as I previously answered, um, the different themes that were developed based on each research question could be seen here. So, life events, core values and beliefs, influences and role models, community support, resilience through adversity, reflexibility and support, learning from past experiences, and aspirations for the future. And finally, these are some quotes from the participants in which, that they helped me come up with the different themes that I previously shared. And thank you so much for your time.